Continue, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame. It really is.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mom talking about I ain't planning to die right now.
It's the most insane
And
thing.
neither was the person that got shot last night either. But
Exactly.
you don't got to watch on that,
You never
But
know.
And I
but
got so many stories. I'm not gonna tell you right now, but I got
yeah,
so many stories of people who I had conversations with, and they didn't want to get the coverage, and then like a year or two later, they died, and it was like it left their family devastated.
yeah,
But then on the flip side, I got stories of people who actually listened, and it was the best thing that could have happened to their survivors.
yeah.
So
So
speaking of, oh, go ahead.
no,
Go
I was
ahead.
just saying. I know I'm a little late coming in here, so I probably formulated a question in my brain. So like, even when people get life insurance, they can borrow against it. Did y'all cover something like that of that nature? The question was.
So we didn't, but I can address that if you all want me to. So
Hmm.
Yes, please.
there's different types of life insurance. There's term insurance, which doesn't have the ability to borrow, and then there's cash value, which is things like whole life and index universal life, where they build up cash over time. So those types of policies, you do have the ability to borrow against the policy and pull monies out in an emergency or situations where, like even for business, like I have a business client that they're utilizing that strategy so they can expand their business and open up additional locations without having to go and hit their credit and beg a bank or a credit union for money. They're
Okay.
just accumulating it in their policy when now they can just extract it, use it to build their business, pay it back, do it again. And they can now create multiple locations without ever having to worry about, oh man, I need to put this application in and go beg a bank for some money.
Okay. Okay. Good question, I guess. Thanks for
Hmm.
answering it, though.
No
Yeah,
doubt. That was a damn good question, bro.
yeah. And that's how they
And
become their own bank. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Infinite banking concept. That's that ideology. That's the ideology. You use your instruments, your financial instruments to your advantage. And that's one of those instruments that you can use to your advantage. In addition to, if you have stocks, mutual funds, you can use all of these different instruments to your advantage. You just got to know how to use them
Hmm.
in their most effective manner.
Hmm.
Okay.
And that's where people like me come in to
That's what
help
I was
you.
gonna say. That's where you come in at. Yeah.
I was going to ask, how does illness affect, like, I know because I know with some insurance policies, there are health restrictions and stuff.
Mhm.
So let's say that you already have it, and throughout your time, you end up developing something that was on
Mhm.
this.
What
Where does
happens?
that leave you? Yeah.
You still get the coverage. Let me tell you why. There's something in insurance policies called a contestability period. So that's the first 2 years. After the first 2 years, if even if you commit suicide, they still got to pay that thing out. So
Nice. Not that I'm
it
gonna do it.
nah.
I'm gonna stop that.
Yo.
Okay.
So, but now
2 years and one day, it's
within them
over.
2 years, like
Oh.
two years and 1 millisecond, you you get it.
Yeah. Your
So,
your people good. Yeah.
but but within them 2 years, if you die, they're gonna do an investigation, and if they find out that you was already sick or you lied on that policy, then your family gets none of that money. They just get the premiums returned.
Mm.
Yeah, but what if
Okay.
they didn't know they was sick though? Because you're
Then
not
it doesn't
allowed to
matter.
defend yourself. Oh, it don't
Yeah.
matter. Huh? Okay.
See, as long as it wasn't an official diagnosis that was in your medical record,
Yeah.
it doesn't exist.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So the research that they doing, they actually going into your medical records, and then if you signed it in 2021 and you die in right, right before 2023 or whatever, before it hit the 2 years,
Right.
and it was in your medical records, then they see that you lied, then it ain't gonna be covered.
It's
But
a wrap.
if you had it all that time and you never
And
knew and
you
it
never
never went to the
knew,
doctor,
they
then
pay
it
it
ain't
out.
no paper trail.
There's no paper trail. So
Yeah.
they pay that money to your
So you
family.
were telling the truth because you didn't
Yeah.
know.
Because see,
Okay.
when you fill out applications, they're representations. There is information to the best of your knowledge at the time. If
Hmm.
you didn't know you were sick,
Yeah.
then you can't magically give yourself a diagnosis. and say, oh yeah, well, I think I have type 2 diabetes. I've never been to a
Yeah.
doctor before, but I
Yeah.
think I got it. Let me put it on here. Like, no, who does
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Come on,
Right.
man.
Not an idiot, but an imbecile.
Right. Come on, man. Nobody does that.
No.
So
Yeah.
you can't magically tell that you're sick. You need a
Yeah.
doctor's diagnosis.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But if you
so
know that, but if you know that information, you got to make sure that you tell them that.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question again. So I'm probably a little late, but the
You right
older
on
you get,
time.
it's cool. The older you get, is it more difficult to get life insurance? Because like I guess the older in age you go, the